men from different backgrounds, different generations, ended up changing each other's lives, and now they're trying to change the world.
In this week's In Black and White, Jordan Brown shows us how baseball brought them together, but then became a much more than just a game to them. Jordan?
That's right. Kevin Jordan had dreams of being a professional baseball player. More than 10 years ago, he was recruited from high school to join the Wake Forest baseball team, and he accepted. What he didn't know was that his decision to go to Wake would end up saving his life and start the beginning of a new dream.
Last year, though, yes.
America's pastime is what started this friendship more than a decade ago.
21, we got a freshman third baseman.
The major leagues was Georgia native Kevin Jordan's dream. Wake Forest coach Tom Walter was going to help him get there.
We saw Kevin play, and you know, he could run, he could throw, he could hit for power, hit for average. He was one of those five-tool players.
Coach Walter recruited Kevin to Wake in 2010, but Kevin almost didn't make it there.
I was recruited by Wake Forest, signed, and planning on coming to Wake or going to the MLB draft when senior year. I started to get sick.
His senior year in high school, we had started hearing from Major League scouts that were in there to watch him play saying, hey, kid doesn't look right. He doesn't look like he's the same. He looks lethargic. That's not who he is. Looks like he's lost some weight. So I called Kevin's dad and I just said, hey, Mr. Jordan, you know, what's going on? Everything okay with Kevin?
Kevin's family thought it was a virus, but more testing revealed it was something much worse.
We found out it was kidney, and it was kidney failure. So my kidneys had failed over a period of like 2 or 3 months during my senior year of high school.
Kevin's dream was in jeopardy, and now he had to break the news to his new coach. But he didn't get the response he expected.
We talked to coach, and he just said, just show up. So in the summer of 2010, we show up, and I'm 150 pounds, not worth anything, just very sick. And coach came to my first doctor's visit where they said, hey, you're going to need a kidney. You're going to need a transplant.
When it came to actually finding that new kidney, Kevin was striking out.
My parents weren't a match. My brother wasn't a match.
When Kevin needed it the most, it was Coach Walter who stepped up to the plate.
And when I heard, you know, what the criteria is for a new kidney, I mean, the first criteria is your blood type. And I was like, well, my blood type and his blood type are the same, so we got a shot here.
I just remember the words, I think I'm a match. Can I donate? And, you know, that's when our relationship may have went from here to here because I didn't expect that.
Coach Walter was set to give his kidney to one of his players and had volunteered without a second thought. That is, until he talked to a friend about it right before the surgery.
And he looked at me confused. He's like, well, can you do that? And I was like, well, what do you mean? And he's like, well, isn't Kevin black? And that question startled me, and I was confused, and so I took a second, and I remember my response to him very clearly, which was, I was like, well, yeah, my blood and his blood are the same, and that's all that matters.
That conversation flipped a switch in Coach Walter's head.
We're not talking about race enough. Like, we sweep that under the rug, and we think it doesn't exist, and we don't want to talk about it, but at the end of the day, we're having the same problems that we had when Martin Luther King was standing on the steps of the Lincoln. We have those same problems today.
He and Kevin were talking a few years later, and they agreed they could use their story to help educate and bring people together.
We both kind of thought the same thing, where we had to start something that continues the conversation, get something going, get some education and some connection around this, because we're not on the same page as a country. So that became Get in the Game.
Get in the Game is an organization the two started in 2020. They go into schools, tell their story, and lead students in conversations around race.
And get these kids to better understand who they are, you know, what they stand for, get them to celebrate their differences instead of criticizing differences.
They ended up creating their own version of the American dream.
It is almost like it was meant to happen.
Now, Kevin still lives in Winston-Salem today and is a teacher and baseball coach at Philo Middle School. And Coach Walter is still working at Wake Forest as a baseball coach.